Good day, student. I'll be taking you through ACT 302, Cost Accounting 2, Study Section 6, Activity-Based Costing Techniques, which we refer to as ABC. Learning has come for Study Section 6. You should be able to explain the aims of activity-based costing. You should be able to explain the implementation procedures and steps involved in ABC. You should be able to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of activity-based costing. You should be able to discuss the allocation and absorption of ABC, that is having the knowledge of allocation procedures and even absorption of ABC. And lastly, you should be able to differentiate between ABC, which is the modern techniques, and the traditional costing techniques. What is ABC? Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, describes activity-based costing as an approach to the costing and monitoring of activities which involve tracing resources consumption and costing final outputs. Resources are assigned to activities and activities to cost objective based on consumption estimation. Activity-based costing assumes that the steps or activities that must be followed to manufacture a product are what determine the overhead cost incurred. Each overhead, whether variable or fixed, is assigned to a category of cost. These costs categorized as are called activities cost pools. Of course, cost drivers are the actual activities that cause the total cost in an activity cost pool to increase. The number of time materials are ordered. You see, the number of production lines in the factory and the number of shipments made to customers are all examples of activities that impact the cost a company incurred. When using ABC, the total cost of each activities pool is divided by the total number of units of activity to determine the cost per unit. What are the aims of ABC model? With ABC, a company can soundly estimate the cost elements of NIDA product, activities, and service that may help inform a company decisions to NIDA. Identify and estimate those products and services that are unprofitable and lower the price of those that are overpriced, that is a product and service portfolio. 2. Can identify and eliminate production or services process that are ineffective and allocate processing concepts that lead to very same products at a better yield. That is a processing re-engineering aim. We have a model for ABC, and the model is really explaining the activities of ABC. We're having the tracing resources cost to activities. We are talking about tracing activities cost to cost objective, which we have the resources, human, physical equipment, supplies. Of course, from that tracing to get to the activities consumption resources, which you can talk about cost objective demand activities. Some of the parameters that we can measure from that cost objective, we have products, we have service, we have customers, we have channels, and we have users. Activities categories of ABC. We have unit level activities, we have batch level activities, we have product line activities, we have facility support activities. You can take it one after the other. Unit level activities occur every time a service is performed or a product is made. The cost of direct material, direct labor, and machine maintenance are examples of unit level activities. And for batch level activities, costs incurred every time a group batch of units is produced or a series of steps is performed. Purchase orders, machine setup, and quality test are examples of batch level activities. And for product line activities, those activities that support an entire product line but not necessarily each individual unit. Example of product line activities are engineering changes made in the assembly line, product design change, and warehouse and storage cost for each product line. And for facility support activities are necessary for development and production to take place. So these costs are administrative in nature, and it includes building depreciation, property taxes, plant security insurance, and accounting. Outside land scale and maintenance and plant management and support staff salaries. Implementation of ABC. The following questions are to be considered by organizations when implementing ABC. Number one, do we fully understand the resources implication of implementing, running, and managing of ABC? That is one. Number two, do we have the resources to implement ABC? Number three, will the cost outweigh the benefit? That is, we are talking about cost-benefit analysis. For the number four, can we easily identify all of our activities and cost? Do we have sufficient stakeholders buying? What will it take to achieve this? And another question is, would the additional information of ABC provide results in action that will increase overall profitability? Of course, let's look at the steps to implement activities-based costing. The steps required for the implementation of ABC as stated. We have identified cost, because that's the first thing you need to do, or you need to know when we are talking about implementation of ABC costing. Identification of that cost. Number two, you look at the load secondary cost pool, or we could actually call it a cost pool. You need to identify what is going to be the cost effect for that production. And number three, we look at what's going to be the primary cost pool for production. And number four, you measure activities drivers, because we have earlier discussed what driver is and what driver cost is. And then we look at allocation cost in secondary pools to primary pool, and we able to follow charge cost to cost objective, and we formulate reports on every of your identification. And at the end of the day, you act on that information. That is, after the evaluation process, you will able to get exactly what you need for the implementation of ABC. And let's take one or two of those steps in our discussion. Like for instance, you have the identifying cost. That is, the first step in ABC is to identify those costs that we want to allocate. Yeah, see, this is the most critical steps in the entire process, since we do not want to waste time with an unnecessary broad project scope. So we want to determine the full cost of a distribution channel. We identify advertising, warehouse costing related to that channel, but we ignore research cost. So since they are related to product, not channel. Examples of cost driver, as we said, we have cost, we have possible cost driver. Now we have under cost, we have ordering cost, and we have setup cost, we have material handling cost, we have inspection cost, we have dispatching cost, we have raw materials inventory handling. Then possible cost driver, those things that will cost, that will drive the cost of that production. And we have number of others, which you can refer back to ordering cost. We have number of production units, you can trace that back to setup cost. You have number of production runs, of course, tracing back to material handling cost. You have number of inspection runs, that could be on the inspection cost. And we have number of dispatches, which we are talking about dispatching cost. And then we'll be able to talk about number of purchase order delivery, and that is really attached to raw materials inventory handling. Allocation and absorption of overheads. Allocation of ABC. ABC itself established separate cost pools for support activities such as dispatching, as cost of these activities are assigned directly to product through cost driver rate. The absorption of service department costs are avoided. The methodology of cost allocation in ABC focuses on operational management, which is used to segregate the following costs. Those costs are very important, as you have been following it from your 100 100 level to this time. We are talking about fixed costs, and we are talking about variable costs and overhead costs. Thank you for listening. See you in the next episode.